I think we all can agree that wine is an amazing alcoholic beverage. When you visit a winery, you probably rarely ever think of how the wine you're drinking is made. Red wines and white wines are actually made two different ways. I was curious to see how white wines are made. I had the pleasure of meeting Mark Jurasevich, owner and manager of Noble Estates Vineyard, and he pulled back the curtains and showed me how he makes his white wine. According to Jurasevich, Oregon makes some of the best white wines in the country. To give me a first-hand look, he invited me to his warehouse to see the process with my own two eyes. Holy cow, is it confusing. When I showed up to the warehouse where Noble Estate creates their wine, I could have gotten it confused with a scientific laboratory. Making wine starts with the grapes on the vine. It's important that the grapes are ripe. If they're not perfect, the wine will suffer. After the grapes are picked and brought to the factory, they're inserted into the bladder press. This is where the grapes are gently squeezed and the juice is extracted. The extracted juice falls into a bin below the press, where it is then pumped into a large tank. Once the juice is in the tank, yeast is added. The yeast is what converts the wine sugars into alcohol. After the juices are settled, they're filtered. This process removes any undesirable elements in the wine. Following the filtering process, the wine is ready to be bottled. Now comes the fun part, preparing the bottle. Before you do any decorating, you got to put a cork on the bottle. The shiny foil that decorates the top of a wine bottle is put on by a machine. Once the foil's on, it's time to finish the bottle by putting on the customary label. Making wine is a long process, but you can't argue that it's not worth it. If you haven't checked out a local winery lately, I highly suggest it. It really is a great time.